Right, so I just want to show you the last bit. What I've done in here is just fix this in. So I've just done 2 stitches down there, sort of quite firm stitches, but hiding the stitches under here. And then I put the flower in there, just did a stitch with the flower inside there, and we could have more coming out later on, you know, feathers, all sorts of things that you want if you want the back, you know, to be exuberant. And then I just, because this is quite small, like I said before, you could cover the whole of the back, but I've just chosen to put a small piece in here this time, so you can do more than this if you want later on. But because it's quite small, it can still move around because of the bottom. It's only stitched there. So what I've done is done an invisible stitch using double thread here, and I've just gone through some of the back lining to hide it. I've just come through like that and done about 3 or 4 double stitches there, and the other side 3 or 4 double stitches on that side, and that just makes it more secure then. So you've got it anchored to here, here, and then the 2 at the bottom. If I wanted to, I could do it at the top, but then you would see the stitch, you know, it'd ruin it a bit. So if I wanted it more secure, I would do a whole big back, but this is quite nice just having a little bit, because then you can see the lining inside. Now we want to finish it all off. You just want to finish this bit here. So what I did was, this was my original idea of making it out of this fabric to match. So for that, you just get a circle again, which is about 1 inch wider than this, same as before, stitch all the way around it, and then if I can find my end, pull it, and it turns into a bit of a bag. And then we place that on this side, smooth it out all nicely, and then stitch it down. Also you could put a bit of spray mount just in the middle or here, just to sort of spray mount the middle down. You can get that from any art shops, and then just ease the fabric out and sew that down. Then I suddenly thought to myself, that's going to be itchy on the head, because this is the same as the other fabric and it is quite rough. So actually I wouldn't use this blingy fabric on there, so it is a bit rough. So use a silk or satin lining in there. I could have used the same as this in there. You know, I want to keep it quite pinky though, but I could put anything I like on there, as long as it's not rough like this one, because this is going to be a bit itchy. So we can save that for another hat. So what I can do is create another circle like we did before in here, or you can cover it in satin, whatever you fancy. So here I've got foam. This is what I used before. This is just, you get it from art shops, you can order it from Amazon. You know, it just, if you put your nail in it, it will dimple it a bit, but otherwise it's just a sort of a thin foam, which is nice to cut petals and all sorts of shapes out of. This is my glitzy glamoury felt. This one is not millinery felt, it's just normal felt. So this one I think I got from Amazon. It's sort of glitzy on the back, but if I was going to use it, I would use this side, which is more fluffy and nicer on the head. But what I'm going to do is use this one, because this is lovely and soft on the head. So I just want to cut something that's going to be big enough. So this is what I used before I cut this out. The other one, I know that was big enough. So if I just put that in the center and then cut a nice circle around the outside, then it can fit on there. So I just use a pin. I'm just going to grab a pin. So I can just mark around this one, because this is what I cut out before. So if you haven't cut anything out, then just measure it, see how much you need, cut a circle, see if that's about sort of fits in the middle, and then you can cut around it to make your disc shape. Now these scissors are okay on this foam, but I wouldn't use these scissors on this sparkly stuff because it will just ruin them. So now you can measure this all out properly, but just by eye I'm just going to cut a circle and see how it looks. Now it's not perfect because it's got some jaggedy edges, but let's just put that in there and see I need to cut away some of the jaggedy edges, but otherwise that's good. And it's nude, and then we can see this little bit in the middle, this colour in the middle can come out. So you can put the whole thing on and glue that down, or you can have a bit of a disc. I prefer the disc. I might just use slightly longer ones. Get more of a perfect edge happening. For that, I don't close the scissors, I keep them open. I just close them a little bit and then open up again. Don't rush it. And then you get a much smoother edge. Okay, and then I can cut out the middle. Easy to do with this foam. And then if I've got my sort of scissors in the middle, in the right point in the middle, I can just do that and it actually scratches this foam in case I want a smaller circle. And you can open them wider again, a bit like what they called compass things, when you just put a point in and then you can go around. So that's how you can create a nice circle. So I can do a wider one if I want as well. It's a way of finding it. Right, let's just cut out to this point. Just following my original line when I went round that with the pin. Got a little jaggedy bit I want to get rid of. Okay, so that's all nice. Will that hide everything? Got a bit of fabric coming out. There, and that would just fit on nicely there. I do have a little stitch there, so I can always cover that up. Can see that I can do another one and just make it a little bit further in, just because I want to cover the wire up completely and I can just see it a tiny bit. But there, so we can just stick that down like we stuck the other one down, and then we're all done. I think I might put a bit of gold leaf on the end of this bit, this quill, and then we're all good to go. In. Brilliant. So I just stick that down and then we're done.